What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, and the overall market. I'm also going to talk about why next week is going to be very big for the markets as we have Trump's inauguration, how it may end up affecting the market moving forward. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000 more, you're guaranteed 30 in total. Not to mention 8.1% APY on invested cash. The offer ends very soon. It ends at the end of March, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with the markets. So as far as NIO is going, the 4 hour is looking a bit more bullish as we're holding above our 4.3 area. This is going to be our 50 EMA. If we continue with this push, we're looking for this gap fill for 4.5. And as of as of right now, the market's looking bullish, approaching Trump's inauguration. So it's going to be a very, very big catalyst for this market. So I'm going to break down exactly why that is, why the market's pushing the way it is. Looking at the overall heat map, you guys can see that Nvda, Google, Meta, Amzn, the majority of stocks were in the green. We even saw Tesla run very, very nicely, up 3%. So the buyers have returned and they're continuing to step in. And there's a lot of potential for us to continue going into next week. Now, as far as NIO goes, I didn't see anything new that came out in terms of analyst ratings, but the price price ratio is starting to go up just a little bit as we're starting to see a little bit more buyers stepping in. And Mondays are historically, well, the market's going to be closed on Monday, then we're going to be opening again on Tuesday. Tuesdays are historically green 55% of the time, so it's a good sign for NIO stock. Despite the fact that NIO's had a difficult year, there are analysts out there who are saying that the price could go up 270% and start pushing a lot more as time progresses because of the fact that we're starting to see sales increasing quite a bit. So there's a lot of potential in this, and more investors will get interested as they get closer to profitability. And there's been a lot of talk about that. Their new model is really helping the share price to start pushing into the double digits. So do I think NIO will achieve that? I think that yes, we are going to see profitability within a year from now. I think that NIO is also going to be looking for amazing growth in terms of their sales, and more buyers will step in eventually. So instead of waiting for buyers to come and then to start FOMOing in, you have the opportunity to buy this thing at much lower prices. You could dollar cost average from 4 or even below that. We've had a lot of opportunity for a very, very long time. And once this thing starts running, it's going to be very beautiful. So I just want to give you guys some heads up about that. Now, moving forward, just know that there wasn't really anything significant coming out for today. But then on Monday, it's going to be January 20th. Now, Monday is also going to be Martin Luther King Jr. Day in the US. So the stock market is going to be closed. Okay. But at the same time, despite the fact that the market's going to be closed, we're also going to be having Trump's inauguration. Trump is going to be inaugurated as president of the United States. And when the market opens again, he's going to be president. So there's going to be a big shift in power. Now, why is this important? Well, you have to remember that the first thing that's helping the markets is that we're building momentum thanks to the fact that CPI was decent. Secondly, typically when you have inaugurations, the market tends to be bullish, especially because Trump is more pro-business. He's favoring limiting taxes on businesses. He also wants to deregulate to a much larger extent, which is getting lots of big tech companies and their CEOs excited, from Jensen Huang to Elon Musk, right? So that tends to be bullish for the markets, and the market may start this rally because of this. So this could be a very, very big factor. Notice we had a lot more volume coming in today because of this, and this is a very, very major factor for the market going into next week. Now, as the week progresses, it's going to be a very short week. The market's only open from Tuesday through Friday. It's going to be closed on Monday. So just keep that in mind. For earnings, there's nothing too crazy coming out for Monday, but then on Tuesday, we have Charles Schwab and a bunch of earnings such as Netflix and United Airlines. Then we have P&G and many more like Johnson Johnson and, and like Discover. And then we have American Airlines on Thursday and Verizon and Amex on Friday. So just keep that in mind. That's what the earnings calendar is going to be looking like. So what do I see for the share price? As long as NIO holds 4.3, we're going to be on our way for 4.5 for a nice bounce as the most likely possibility. SPY is looking more promising right here. Might see a little bit of a dip before it tries to continue to push. So if we do end up retesting 595 or so to 596, as long as we hold 595, I think we could continue to bounce and continue this uptrend for a breakout to fill this imbalance. I think SPY is going to be pushing above 600 very soon. I think that Trump's inauguration is going to be a big factor to really help this thing push. So I think that we're going to continue to remain bullish. We're breaking structure right here, and we do favor upside as we're doing a great job. QQQ is also breaking structure. There's a nice inverse head and shoulders here, so this will easily go up to about 528 or so. Might dip a bit here before it starts to push, and I think 528 plus is most likely coming. For the Russell, It's at a tough resistance at 226, so it's kind of shuffling here. It will continue to do that unless we break 226.19. If that's the case, we're looking for more upside. ES has a nice inverse head and shoulders as well. As long as we hold above 6,000, I'm looking for a target of this imbalance fill for 6,070. For Bitcoin, we look quite decent right here. We got a nice little breakout with this double bottom. I want to see a continuation, so it might retest the 102,700 to 103,000 area. But then it could bounce and try to continue to uptrend for 108,000. I see potential in this. Nvidia is looking more bullish here. We're actually forming a very, very nice base. I want to see Nvidia try to get back above 140. If that's the case, we're looking for essentially 145 as our targets. With Trump's inauguration, don't forget that Jensen Huang and Nvidia have criticized the current administration, and they've implied that there are things they're going to like when it comes to regulations that are going to be better under the next administration. I'm not saying that that's objectively true, what I personally think. I'm just saying that that is what they have said. So like I said before, a lot of these big businesses are very, very pro-Trump, and he's going to help a lot of the share prices most likely. So this could cause a little bounce here, especially if you have a double bottom setup. If it could break 140, we're looking for a bigger push. Tesla's on a bit of an uptrend. As long as we do not lose support at 420, I think we could continue to slowly push for 440 and eventually, fill our gap that's well above. When you look at the daily time frame on Tesla, we have these gaps to fill. We had one gap over here at 431. There's another gap up here at 454. We may slowly try to push as the daily is showing a lot of strength. So keep that in mind, guys. Right now, Tesla's doing a very, very good job. I think that this has a lot of potential nonetheless. For others out there, we have Aapl. Apple's trying to base at 230. We'll see if we hold this or not. It's a little bit weaker compared to the markets. As long as 230 holds, this could try to bounce a bit, but this is still looking a little bit lackluster. I do hope we hold 230 to push for 234. Coin is looking a bit more bullish on the daily time frame as there are buyers who are returning. Zooming out into the 4-hour time frame, I see potential for a retest of 300. It's going to be a tough resistance, so we'll see if we break it or not. But if we do break it, we're looking for 308, which is where the imbalance is. Amazon looks a bit more bullish with the inverse head and shoulders setup. That could take us up to about 228. Meta is holding up quite well. As long as we hold above 609, this resembles an inverse head and shoulders for an attempt to break out for 625 and eventually the 630s. Microsoft looks a bit more bullish on making higher highs and higher lows. As long as 428 and 425 don't break, we could be looking for essentially 432. And then Google looks a bit more bullish with the inverse head and shoulders here. We could be pushing for essentially 200. So I think we're doing a fantastic job. With that being said, the VIX is very flat, but we have this gap to fill down here. This makes me suspect that upside looks a bit more probable after Trump's inauguration. So that's what is looking more probable. With that being said, this could help NIO as well. As long as we're above 4.3, we're looking for 4.5 as our targets. With that being said, guys, I'm going to take a little bit of a break from making videos. I'll be back most likely on either Sunday or Monday. Because the market's going to be closed in the US for Monday. I will be back by then for sure, and we'll see if I upload something by Sunday. But I will not be uploading a video for tomorrow. I thank you for listening, guys. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys very soon. NIO to the moon as we're trying to bounce, and we'll see how things end up going. Thank you for listening, and peace out.